right, ladies and gentlemen, so here's the review sheet for our test, which you're going to be taking tomorrow on rates and proportional relationships. So let's just get through this. Find a unit rate, round to the nearest hundredth if needed. When we're doing unit rates and we're talking about money, in your calculator, you're going to do 253 divided by 10, and that will give us choice C, $25.30 an hour. Find a unit rate, round to the nearest tenth if needed. So if it's not talking about money, then you're just going to do, keep the numbers in the order they give you. So 40 divided by 22, and yes, you will be allowed to use your calculator, so you need to make sure you have those with you. And it did tell us to round to the nearest tenth, so this is 1.8. For number 3, we have wants to give 6 equal size candy size bags of candy to her friends. She has 3/4 pounds. How much will each bag of candy weigh? So she has 3/4 pounds, and she's dividing that by 6. All right, so if you want to turn that into a decimal, you could, but you can always keep it as a fraction because our calculators do fractions. So that would give us 1/8 when I put that into my calculator. So that's a unit rate, 1/8 of a pound per bag. Not sure why my board isn't moving. Okay, number 4. The following table shows the relationship between the times taken to run laps by Kyle. Express the relationship in the form of the ratio comparing times to time. So anyway, we're going to divide. So we're going to divide 75 divided by 5, which gives us 15. Then I want to know, is it going to be proportional or not? So I have to see if I divide each and every one of these, is it going to be proportional or not proportional? So if I do 75 divided by 10, this one gives me 75. These don't match, which means it is non-proportional. And we took the first one to get the 15, but it certainly wouldn't be 1/15. All right, next page. The calories burned for exercising varies. Which statement about the graph is not true? The number of calories burned is proportional. Well, that is true. We're looking for the one that's not true. I know it's proportional because it's a straight line through the origin. B, the number of calories burned is not proportional to the number of minutes. Again, it doesn't, which one is not true? Oh, this one, because it's not, it says it's not proportional, but it is proportional. Sorry. Number 6, the amount of meat that people consume is represented below. How much meat is eaten per person? You're finding the unit rate. Here's per person, 1 person. How much meat is it? 3. So 3 pounds, choice C. Right, that's reading it off of the graph. For the next one, number 7. Oh. Sorry, we're having smartboard problems today. A recipe for macaroni and cheese calls for 8 ounces of cheese for every 2 cups of milk. What is the unit rate? So 8 ounces for every 2, so it's 4 for 1. Set up the unit rate, 4 ounces per cup. How much milk is needed if there are 24 ounces of cheese? So if I were to try to create some type of chart here, and I want to try to get equal ratios, so I need 24 to get from here to here. I'm multiplying by 6, so it's going to take 6 cups. Next one, Jeff and Kyle have summer jobs. Kyle earns $18 for every 3 hours he works. Jeff earns $48 when he works 8 hours. Are their earnings proportional? So I have to check the unit rates. So I'll do Jeff first just because I have my blue marker. So for Jeff, we have 48 over 8, which is $6 per hour. Then we have Kyle, who is $18 for 3, which is also 6. So are their earnings proportional? Yes. How do I know that? Same unit rates. If the unit rates are the same, it's going to be a proportional relationship. A dolphin can swim 40 miles per hour. Create a chart to represent this information. So we have So we have hours and we have miles. And in 1 hour, he's going 40. In 2, he's going 80. In 3, he's going 120. If you wanted to do a fourth, 160. Is the relationship proportional? Yes. How do you know? Equal unit rates. At the beginning of the year, Isabel had $120 in her bank account. Each week she deposits another 20. Is her account balance proportional to the number of weeks of deposit? So let's see here. So at the beginning, first week she has 120. Then she put in $20, so that means she has 140. Then she put in another 20, which is 160. So there's my chart. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm not sure why my board is not working right today. There we go. So I want to know, so that means I have to be able to take and figure out my unit rate. So my unit rate, we have 120 divided by 1. And then I have 140 divided by 2, which is 70 over 1. So those don't match. 120 over 1, 70 over 1 doesn't match. So, explain your reason. Is it proportional? No, not equal unit rates. Number 12, an elevator ascends or goes up at a rate of 750 feet per minute. Is the height to which, so let's see, so after 1 minute it's 750, 2 it's going to be 1500, 3 is going to be 2250, I hope, and then 4 is going to be 3000. All right, complete the chart. Is the relationship proportional? Yes. How do you know? Equal unit rates. If the relationship is proportional, write an equation. So our equation is always y equals, then the unit rate, 750, and then x. How many feet would it rise after 6 minutes? You can either continue your chart, or we can put in 750 times 6, which is going to give us 4,500 feet. All right, let's take a look at next problem. The table shows the number of calories an athlete burned per minute of exercise. Determine whether the number of calories burned is proportional. So I have to figure out my unit rate. So 4 divided by 1 is 4, 8 divided by 2 is 4, 13 divided by 3 is 4.3 repeating. So is it proportional? No. Oh, it tells me to graph, but it didn't give me a... Oh, there's the graph. Sorry. Helps if I pay attention, right? Sorry about that. All right, let's try the graph. So we had 0, 0. We had 1, 4. 2, 8. And then 3, 13. And what actually ends up happening is that these are nice and connected, but then it goes up a little bit. So is it proportional? How do you know? No, not a straight line. Because they wanted us to do this one based on the graph. If you did it based on the unit rates, I wouldn't mark that wrong. All right, I think that's about it. Believe it or not, pretty easy test I hope for you guys for tomorrow. But any questions, send me a message and I will try to answer them when I can. Have a good night, guys.